Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Welcome to Streaming Matters, episode 70. So hey, made it to 70. Oh man, they haven't kicked me off YouTube yet. We got Ed B in the house. Thanks for joining me, bud.
Hey, thanks for
Hey,
having me. Good to be here.
good. Thank you for being here. Not a ton of stuff to talk about today. We'll see what happens. See what questions we get. Tribalize. I see Diana, Paul, Phil, LG, Diesel was in the house earlier. He's probably on his way home. Darren, I think Darren was the first one. No, Diesel was online in the chat at 2:44. So 2.5 hours ago, he was in the chat. So hey everybody. Peter, what's
Yeah.
up, Redneck?
Darren is in the chat.
Yeah, I
Uh
saw Darren earlier. That was at
oh.
4:56. Um, and my respects at being a drunk. I, I don't know. I haven't. I've only had. This is my first beer. I'm gonna have just one. So maybe I'll have a few more. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Marvin, Patty, what's up? What's up? Donnie rolling up here. We'll give a few minutes. Um, I got a ton of stuff. I got a few things to talk about today. I just released a video for Tracked. Some of you guys may feel like it's redundant. If it's stuff that if you've been using Tracked, it's probably redundant. Hopefully, for the people that are brand new to it, they'll kind of get an idea of how to use it. To go along with the thoughts and what's my template? It's a 29-minute video. So because I go through and talk about the add-on, or what Tracked is, then I show you how to install it in 3 different add-ons, how to use it, and then go back to the website, and then go back to the add-on. So I just uploaded it 15 minutes ago. So hey everybody, I see what Alfie and is to it. Hey, if Is to It wants to jump in the chat, anybody that wants to jump in the chat, send me a message on Telegram. I'll do my best to send you a link and you can jump in here and hang in here with me and Mr. B and
Yeah.
see what we talk about.
Yes, come on in.
Yeah, come on in. The water's fine.
Hey, I just have to show off my
Oh,
my gear here.
yeah, yeah. Little bit of contribution to Cody.tv.
Yeah.
What's it? $25 shirt?
I think it was 20, something like that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But
Yeah,
piece of cotton. But hey, if it keeps things rolling, why not?
yeah. I've got like 3 or 4, and I'm like, it's a little bit, but then then they block me on Twitter. So it's like maybe I should burn the shirts, like make a video of me burning the shirts from them blocking me on Twitter.
I can't picture anybody blocking dabs on anywhere. That's just my
Hateful. I'm hateful. Yeah, I got haters. That's okay. My ex-wife, that'd be number 1. So how was your holiday? I mean, since last week I was all by myself, so I didn't get to talk to nobody. How was your holiday?
Mine was great. I actually saw you on last week, but I had family in town. We had stuff going on here. Busy weekend with my daughter was involved in a production, and so we had family in town, and I was not able to join you. And I
Yeah,
saw you going solo. So when you asked me
yeah,
this week, I was like, "All right, man, definitely."
yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't try to hound people. There's people that I ask numerous times, and they'll say no. And understand some people are nervous. You were nervous the first time you came on, and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do. And I'm like, it's not hard. I mean, just get on and bullshit. Even if you don't want to turn on your camera, I don't care. But
Yeah.
you go with it, and so it gets to a point where I stop asking people directly because I don't. It's almost like you remember back in high school when you used to ask a girl out, and you always you were scared to get rejected. Well, after a period of time of me asking certain people or asking a bunch of people and I get rejected, it's like it's hurting my ego. I'm getting shot down. So, I figured I'll just put blankets, invites, people want to join, hit me up. They can join. It's great. And we could go with it. And people may see I got my new headset. I got this for, I guess it was for Christmas. I got it because sometimes I was getting feedback from my speakers and the microphone, and these really work well. They're my gaming headphones, and they are so comfortable. Because all right, you wear glasses, and so
Yeah.
I've been playing Call of Duty, and so when I've been playing Call of Duty, if you wear some shitty headphones, it like cuts you right here, right where your glasses push against your head, and
Yes. Yes.
it,
I know what you mean.
and these, oh my God, they are so comfortable. I mean, I can play for a couple of hours and it never hurts my ears. So I figured, you know what, I'm gonna use these. It's got a good mic, good sound, and we'll go with it.
I'm just using my phone.
Yeah, and look, it looks beautiful.
I've got all these Bluetooth earpieces and headsets, and I tried them all last time, and I couldn't get any of it to work. And you just asked me like minutes ago if I wanted to come on, so I haven't had a chance. One of these days, I'll figure out how to use all that stuff, and I'll come in, properly geared up. But
Well, I will be honest. I have the Bluetooth, actually the Bose. I got some Bose, the fancy Bose head wire Bluetooth. They're shit on here. I don't know what it is. It's they drop like it drops. So I just don't like it. What's Diesel got a serious questions? Hey, what's the VPN software? It's a green one. What the Diesel? I don't know. I don't think that's a serious question, Diesel. I really feel like it's not. The green one. Like green as in environmentally safe, environmentally friendly. Is that what he means by green one? Because he's from Canada, and they're Canadians are very green. Very green.
Good for them.
And I'll be honest, if you ever go to Canada, this is something that you'll find out when you go to Canada. You know the plastic bags that we go to the grocery store? You're an American. Go to the grocery store, get a plastic bag. You know what I mean?
Yes.
In Canada, it's $5 or 5 cents.
Yeah. My relatives in Connecticut were visiting recently, and they said they have to pay 10 cents a plastic bag. They were grabbing all our plastic bags out of the like boarding them up. We got to take these home, man. We have to pay for these back in Connecticut.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was like, I'll just carry it with me because I got one item and I threw it in a bag, and not thinking. And it says, "Did you use a bag?" And I was like, "Oh, I guess I used a bag." And I hit yes. How many? One. I'm like, all right. And it was like 5 cents. Like, what the hell? 5 cents? Man, I told her, I told Blue I was the next time I come up there, I was gonna bring like a whole box of them, and I was gonna stand out front of the store and sell them 2 for 5 cents. Do you need a bag? 2 for 5 cents. Hey, it's our half price. It's like buy one get one free.
Yeah, take like the bootleg T-shirt seller at rock concerts out in the parking lot.
Exactly.
I could see it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that. Thinking out of the box. I'm trying to think about how to make some money here. All right, so we see people talking about we're definitely not using IPVanish. Diesel uses a VPN, and I think he uses PIA. I use PIA, but I can't say I'm an expert on that. I think he's just pulling my legs, just trying to mess around with me. Excuse me. Birdman says 10 cents in California for a plastic bag.
Yeah, and Connecticut too, apparently.
Freaking damn. And I work at a grocery store, and I know how much the bags cost. It's not 10 cents.
More of a penalty because they're trying to get people to use those reusable bags, little tote bags, which kind of makes sense if you think about it. But yeah, it is kind of a pain in the butt. I'm glad we don't have to do that here, honestly.
Well, and I work at a grocery store, so every day I'm picking. Well, not every day. Most days I pick up a couple items. So, I'm walking out. I grab this, grab that, grab a few things. I'd have to carry them bags in every single day, the reusable bags. So it's just I don't do official grocery shopping like some people do. So, let's see. How much for paper? I don't even know. Redneck, if they even charge for the paper bags. I don't even know. I'd have to.
You have to ask for those specifically, they kind of hide those.
Diesel says he's going to start taking pillowcases to the grocery store. They probably don't care.
Uh,
Diesel says no paper bags in Canada. Now they have so many trees in Canada, and it's shocking that they don't have paper bags in the grocery store. But you know, oh, except for the liquor store. Which what Diesel? How do you know about the liquor store? JD, JD by chance? He's a JD man. He's a JD man. Let's see. I don't know if people have. We got the cat over here. We got.
Yeah, he wants in on the show.
He's got probably lovers, and he'll probably. We need to put him up. Make him a Twitter account. Get the cat to have a Twitter account.
I have to, because he's got all personality. He thinks he's a puppy dog. He like follows me around and loves to play. He's not your typical cat, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, he'll leave me alone, I think, for a while.
Hey,
I was scratching noise on the back of my chair, and you hear me cussing, and you'll know it's Ozzy.
Is it Ozzy?
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
Like Ozzy Osbourne, like it.
Yeah, like Ozzy Osbourne, but not spelled with the Y, the I-E. So
I like it. Okay, all right. So, one thing I was gonna, one of the things I had on the agenda was something when I was poking around today, trying to check out some different add-ons. Once every few weeks, I just go through Kodi apps, see what's popular. What are the popular add-ons? What are everybody talking about? And I saw Uranus.
yeah.
Well, I saw Uranus and I said, not your anus, but Uranus add-on. And I said, wait a minute. I remember who created Uranus, and he's not creating add-ons anymore. And so I went and looked at the repo, and it was Cypher Roots 2. Cypher Root 2. And and then I noticed there was another add-on on the same list from the same repo. And then I started asking around, and come to find out, this seems to be a repo releasing clones or copycat add-ons just to be a pain in the ass.
It's true.
It seems like they're just copying add-ons, other add-ons. Well, first of all, the Uranus was Neptune Rising, right?
Yeah, it was called Uranus, but it says it's a fork of. It said it was an official clone of Neptune Rising, and the developer of Neptune Rising was surprised to hear that.
Well, I know the creator of Neptune Rising, and he's not in the Kodi scene. He left the Kodi scene. He don't have time for it. He left it a year and a half, 2 years ago. It's been a while that he's left. Yeah. So, and when I saw Critters, what was it? Critters Corner. That's when I saw Critters Corner. I'm like, Critters Corner. That was a guy in the Kodi scene that had his own playlist in Neptune Rising. So, just be careful, y'all. If you're if you're a person that likes to install a lot of things, you follow in what's the newest add-ons, and you're jumping on that. I would be a little careful of the Cypher Root 2 at repo. I don't know what else is in there. Have you looked in that repo? I mean, I saw there was 2 add-ons that I noticed.
Yeah, he has Covenant in there. He has the Covenant repo in there, which I didn't even bother to install to see what was in that, because I know that's not around anymore, and God only knows what's in there. It had a bunch of clones. It had one that was called oh crap, I can't think of the name of it right now, but it was a clone of Placenta, but with a different name, like La Plaza or something like that.
Okay.
Right. It was pretty ridiculous. There was like at least 10 clones of different stuff in there. And then there was another add-on, which I'm not even going to mention the name of, which added a hat to the end of it to try to maybe get seen as having something to do with another group on Kodi, and it was lists that were taken off of somebody else's active add-on. So that was not cool.
Okay.
And then, you know, all the cloning and all that. I would just recommend avoiding that. Never
Yeah.
know what's going to pop up from places like that.
Yeah. Again, I didn't notice it till today, and I mean it's probably been around a little while. I just noticed it today when I was poking around on the chart to see what's popular, and it was near the top of the list. And again, that was only because they're newer and people are clicking on it because it's something new, and they're like, "What is this?" So when they click it to read about what repo it's from, that counts as a vote, which pulls them up in the list. So most likely, you're going to see this week they're going to run to the top of the list, and they'll probably drop pretty quick. And the thing about with people creating clones, all they're doing is taking somebody else's work, creating a list, and then releasing it. And most times they're just doing it to be a dick. They're just doing it to be a pain in the ass, is what usually they're doing it for. And they normally get bored pretty quickly because they have to continue to update the list because, especially if a certain person if a person has a list somewhere and they notice that that list is stolen, they'll probably move it. Like if it's on Pastebin, they're going to move it from one Pastebin location to another. So all of a sudden that list is not being updated no more. So the guy, if there's somebody that's creating a clone, then they got to go and chase that new location and then update theirs. And so they tend to get bored pretty quickly because it's more of just to try to jerk somebody else's chain. Have an idea, you know, we all probably have ideas of who that may be, but I'm just saying, you know, just if you install what you want, but I would probably stay away from that because it's probably going to be a short-lived a repo, and it's going to not be around long, and it's going to be abandoned. And whatever, if you're installing some of that crap, it's not going to work after a while.
Yeah. I see somebody mentioning Venom, and I've tried that, and it's actually a good add-on. But there's one thing that I think people do need to know, is if you install the Venom repo and add-on, it updates Meta Handler from version 005 to version 007. And the only thing I know that will impact is if you're using any of Jay Sergio's add-ons, Cartoon Network or Adult Swim, it will break those, and you will have to roll it back to version 005 for them to work again. Just wanted to point that out. But the add-on works great. I've checked it out.
Yeah, the only thing actually on my last update for I think my 17 and my 18 builds for DAX, I put those in there for people because it seemed popular, and it was pulling from a different scraper set than some of the other ones I had. But the only thing for me was the library integration that was in it that I feel like most people wouldn't use. Now, people that understand library integration and want to have library integration and set it all up will probably love it. People that don't have library integration may not like that pop-up saying failed to update popular, because I remember it popping up a warning or a thing saying it couldn't download and update. That was a little bit of a pain, and I think that was one thing that, let's say, a new user or an uneducated user may find a little confusing when it's trying to update the library because it's integrated to the Kodi library. So that can be a little confusing for a newer user. So, but other than that, I find it to work pretty good. They're using the open scrapers?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's using open scrapers, which tend to be getting updated. So that was the only reason I put it in there because they're using that. Again, when I do a build, I only have a few add-ons, and I'm thinking, all right, this is this niche of scrapers. This is this niche of scrapers. So you can figure out which one works best for you.
Yeah.
So
So for open scrapers, you've got Kratos, you've got Venom, you've got now Fen has switched to open scrapers.
Oh,
So you've got those three all using open scrapers, and I guess there really wouldn't be point in having, you know, two or three of those because they're all pulling from the same
yeah.
scrapers.
They have the same sources. Now, Numbers, is he pulling from that? Because I know that's an Exodus fork. I'd have to look at Numbers would be the other one that it would come that's more popular that I
Yeah.
would think possibly could be using the open scrapers. I don't know if he's using his own scrapers, but it was an Exodus fork. So
I
that may
believe he's
be
using his own scrapers
okay.
and
Okay.
maybe collaborating with some other devs
Yeah.
who do other add-ons too.
Okay.
But yeah, the crew's been working really great for me too. That's pretty much my favorite add-on these days. But there's a lot of good ones out there.
Okay, question. All right,
Yeah.
so you use Kodi on a regular basis as well as me. I thought Exodus Redux was the dev posted on Reddit that he was going to stop after, was it a month and a half ago, 2 months ago? He did an update near the
Yeah.
holidays and said he was done.
Yeah.
So was somebody else taking that on?
Not
I
that
would
I knew of. I read that too. It was on Reddit, and he
Yep.
said he didn't plan on staying away as long, but then he just decided to stay away. But he came back just to fix the TVDB situation.
Yes, that's what
And
it
he
was.
said,
The TVDB. Yep.
yeah, and he said that's like my final update.
Yep.
So
So yeah. So people may want to. Just FYI, you may find that add-on not being updated unless he changes his mind on that.
yeah, and that's possible too. But
Yeah.
when I hear stuff like that, I usually just drop it and move to something else that's being actively developed because there's so many scrapers and there's so
Yeah.
many people working hard to keep them up and keep them working and pulling lots of good links. So if somebody stops, hey, that's cool, but it's just going to die out over time. So might as well move on.
Yeah. And I will say, all right, so let me say this for scrapers, and we've talked about it in the past. When the NAND scrapers, universal scrapers all started way back in, and it was created as a community project. It was created to be anybody that wanted to update scrapers or add to the scrapers or fix any scrapers or any of that. It was created to be a community project. So at any point, if somebody decides to create or fix or do any of the works on the universal scrapers, if they get with in the gen group or something like that and post an update to any of the scrapers, those can be added to the system. The open scrapers is on Reddit, and it looks to me as if it kind of took that same approach. It's not Exodus scrapers, it's actually open scrapers where anybody can create or submit fixes. And that was what the mindset for universal scrapers was. The same thing was, hey, let's create an open thing that anybody can fix any scraper, post the fix, and those fixes can be added to the pack and sent out. And then guess what? Everybody benefits.
Yep.
So that is what Open Scrapers is doing. And I will just say, if anybody wants to do any work on any of the scrapers and they look at the universal scrapers and they want to fix any of those, fix them, post. I mean, because it's not a very big file if you fix anything, and post it in some groups, and they can get placed into the pack to be part of the official upload or update. But it's good to see that in a way. I really like both of them offering that possibility of, hey, guess what? These aren't just maintained by one person. It's maintained by the community, and it benefits the whole community.
Yes. And it's good because that's a lot for one person to take on. And it's good to have multiple people contributing. It takes the load off of one person doing all the work.
Yeah.
So
And
it's a great idea. You just need people to work together and cooperate and
yeah, even if someone fixes one, They fix one.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, scrapers, and how a scraper works in a nutshell is the scraper. And if you've used any add-ons, you'll see how it says sources or whatever it says, and it'll say it's checking 22 sources or 50 sources or whatever, how many scrapers it has. What it does is each one of those things, what it does is each scraper looks at a different website. A lot of times, or quite often, all that's changed is the URL has changed. Now, sometimes it will be code actually changes and the website actually changes. Sometimes it's just as simple as the URL changed. And so you can go into the scraper and change that URL, fix it in a couple places, and all of a sudden the scraper works where it was before it was broken. So sometimes it's as simple as that. And if someone fixes just one, that's a plus for the community, because and me for one, I don't want to rely on one thing for my streaming. I want a diversity, because if the powers to be wanting to go after somebody legally take down one, I don't want one to be the only thing that we're all leaned on or dependent on. It's better if we have options. So if one goes out, guess what? That doesn't affect everything. So, having open scrapers, universal scrapers, or add-ons that have direct links, and it's good for everybody. It is really good for everybody.
Yeah, I do the same. I try to have backups to backups, like 2 or 3 of each, sports, scrapers, live, premium subs that I have. I try to keep a couple of each, because that's the nature of streaming out in Cody land and on your Android boxes, that sometimes these internet technologies run into some problems. And if you're in the middle of a game or your favorite show and you have a second service, you can just switch over and watch on there until the other one gets it fixed.
Yep. So it's a good thing to have the options. And I always have a couple options, because like you said, you don't want to rely on one, and that's always a good thing. Bob asks, is there any news on NaviLex? NaviLex, I talked about that a couple months back. The developer, between the holidays and all the other stuff, he had another project that he was kind of working on, and between his own work and the holidays, he had kind of shelved it. I'm not sure. I haven't seen a lot of talk in that group of updates. I will let you know. I'll try to get up with the guy to see if there's any kind of updates, but I haven't seen anything in the last few weeks. I know there was some talk in there of some stuff, but nothing to going towards that official. When he created the room and he gave the link out, he was wanting people that wanted to help with it. But they're still brainstorming. It's kind of a group that's kind of knocking ideas around. Where do they want to go with this? What do they want to do? What do they want to implement? What features? So that's where that's at right now. As soon as I hear anything, I'll let you know. But right now, I'd say that I don't see a release coming soon. From where they're at right now, I think they're still kind of hashing out what they want to do and what niche they want to have, what features, and stuff like that. And like I said, especially with the holidays, I mean, if you're in the U.S., November, December, up until the middle of January is basically screwed because it's for us, it's hectic, and so. David asked,
before we go much further, I gotta say, oh, Tigers!
Oh, well, we had 2 Tigers. Which one are you talking about? The ones that lost or the ones that won?
Well, the ones with the post that says "Go Tigers."
Yeah. The Tigers. LSU won. Beat Clemson.
That was amazing. What a season!
I was pulling for Clemson since
Boo.
they're in South Carolina. I mean, I'm in North Carolina. They're South Carolina. I was kind of pulling for them. One of the guys I work with is a Clemson diehard fan, and I was hoping for a 30-win streak. They would have had 30 wins if they'd have won Monday night's game.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible run they had.
Yeah, and their quarterback still has to come back because he's going to be a junior next year, and with the NCAA makes you play 3 seasons in college football before you can come out. So he's coming back. So you're going to have the Clemson team. We'll see. LSU and their firepower, the receiving core they had was phenomenal. I mean,
and their window was very short because Joe Burrow is going into the draft this year. So it was like now or never. He's graduating. He's going first in the draft. Make hay while you can, and they did. They took advantage. That dude had a phenomenal season. I don't think I've seen a season that good.
Yeah.
Like ever.
Well, and I mean, a good quarterback that can, in a good system that could check down, and a good receiving core that could get open. And on top of that, 2 corners on the defense that could shut down about anybody. I mean, their corners shut down Clemson's receiving core that tended to have a really good season. They really shut them down. So, like you said, a small window. We'll see what happens next year with them.
Unsure. Unsure about what's in the pipeline. We'll see.
Trevor Lawrence was the guy. Blind Eye posted that. Trevor Lawrence is the quarterback for Clemson. Looks like a girl with his hair. I'm be honest. He's a pretty girl.
Yeah, we were like, get a haircut. No offense to you long-haired fellow. We were just bragging because he was on the opposite team.
Oh yeah. But that's the fun of a game and a rivalry and all that stuff. So David asked about fixing scrapers. There is no group. There is no official stuff I could say, hey, go here, read this. I would say join in the Gen group. You can talk in there. You can ask in the Cody group on Telegram. You can ask in there, and you might be able to find some small groups of people that are willing to help. But there's no official site. There's no official thing. And if you look in, like I said, I wish I could give an easy answer because there's very few people now compared to what there used to be doing that stuff. So I'm not sure. I can't really give I would talk in the Gen group and see if there's some people that can pull you into a chat to help. What's up, Cellar Door? I see he's in the chat.
I see people saying hi to me, and I'm like just occasionally glancing at the chat window. This is only my second appearance on YouTube, let alone Todd Show, and so I'm sitting here and I'm like, I got my hands full, just trying to handle the video and keep.
Your hands doing what?
My hands are full. And I'm trying. I want to say hi to everybody. Hi to everybody, but
my hands are full.
Multitasking, it's like a little difficult for me. And then my cat's trying to climb on me at the same time.
Yeah, guys aren't real good at multitasking. Ask any woman. So Jason says Saren has the A4K scrapers. Does anyone else use them? I don't think anybody else is using the A4K scraper package, except for. Well, I don't think Open Meta wouldn't, but I don't think any other add-ons are using that. It's their own package that they're using. I can't think of anybody else that's using it because Saren was its own built add-on. That wasn't Exodus cloned, forked, or another add-on forked off. Saren was created from, I would say, the ground up because when it first came out, it wasn't very good. I remember when Saren very first came out, it was buggy. It had very little features. It was an issue at the first few months, and it slowly got better and better. And the developer, which I don't talk to the developer on that add-on, but he has done phenomenal job and done a great job. Same thing with kind of like Finn. It was its own person doing that own little thing off to the side. And I'm slowly trying to find some love for Finn. I know that you like Finn a lot. I'm slowly, all right. Today's video when I did Tracked, I was like, okay, I kind of like, he's got, like when you go to your Tracked lists, it shows all of them. It's not, whereas say Saren or Jarrell or the other one I did, Venom, when you go to their Tracked list, it'll be TV shows or movies. They're two different groups. And I think then when you go to Tracked, there's all the track lists. Not, they don't separate movies and TVs. It's like there's all your track lists, which is a little neater in a way because it's all together. It's in what your taste is there.
Yeah, and somebody was telling me he added some new features with the latest update, or one of the latest updates. And to be honest, I haven't used it much lately. But apparently he's integrated the library functions with Tracked and done some new stuff with that. I'm gonna have to take a look at that over the weekend.
I want to say, didn't he add? There was some widget features that he added in there on this last update. He's doing some things. He's trying some different things, and there was because with that the menu that like you and I talked about, the menu where you can change the menus all around. And create your own menus inside the add-on. Whereas, some people are like, I don't want just movies or this or that. I would like a shortcut to, let's say your Tracked list. Let's say I did a video, today's video talked about a 4K list. So let's say you created a 4K list in Tracked and you're like, I want that part of my main menu when I go into the add-on. You can create a main menu item that would say 4K that would link right to there. So that custom ability is a neat feature, I think. He's made it very customizable. So
he's definitely adding new stuff that you don't see a lot of. Kind of putting the envelope on some little things here and there, which is good to see.
And for me, I'm still leaning on Saren as my daily add-on. Is what I'm using on a daily basis. It's fast, it's quick. It is. I mean, from the time once I click a link or click show or movie, it's playing within 10 seconds. I mean, in the next up, where he's integrated next up into it, where it's kind of reminds me of with Bob. Bob did it where it would load the next episode while you're watching this episode. And Saren does that while you're watching episode 1. Episode 2 scrapes and finds the link and is ready to go. So when the next episode goes, it's a Netflix feel where the next episode starts. And I do like that because when I was binging Succession, and my binge is 3 episodes in a row. I mean, but when the next episode, boom, was loading right in there. I did like that. So
I see that Dave P popped in, and I just wanted to say, hey, Dave, because he is one of those guys who's around on Telegram and is always helping people. Super helpful, good guy. I just wanted to say hey. And also, I see that Funster came in and he mentioned that you can set up Fen now so it opens a movie in EIM. That's what I was trying to say earlier. That's what, he was the one who told me, I think.
I will say something, and I don't know if you have EIM installed right now. I did notice something today. All right, so I have numerous portables on my computer. Portables being it's Kodi installation of Kodi, but it's in a folder. So it's not part of my C programs dabs, blah, 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 computer. It's in a folder. So I can have 10 or 12, 20, 100 separate Kodi installations. So when I do videos, I have its own little portable. So I opened up one of my portables, and I hadn't opened that portable in a while. So I'll open a portable and normally wipe it and then start again fresh. And I actually had Indigo in there. And I said, wait a minute, Indigo, what the hell? And I hadn't had this opened in a long time. And it seems to me, because of whatever installation that I had going on at that time, I don't know what else I installed, but Extended Info Mod and Python All-in-One, which gens use Python All-in-One. Between the Extended Info Mod, Python All-in-One, and Magic Dragon pulled in Indigo, because they all use URL Resolver.
Mm-hmm.
And since you use URL Resolver, we remember the hijack where you were forced to install Indigo, or it installed it without your knowing or without your permission. So I don't know if it was because it was an older installation and something got installed back then when I was messing around, or if that's still current. But I was shocked. I had to go through a bunch of hoops to get rid of Indigo, because you know that, well, you can't get rid of Indigo because Python All-in-One, Magic Dragon, EIM. And then so you got to get rid of one and then get rid of the other, then get rid of the other, and work your way down.
It's like a weed. It's like a
Yeah.
weed. It gets its roots all down in your code, man. It's a pain in the ass.
Yep.
And speaking of which, I forwarded you some screenshots and some messages from Telegram. There is a new build that I wanted to mention that's in from one of our users gave us a build recently that's called Green Monster, and it's an Exonfluence build, and it's pretty big. It's loaded, but it has no URL resolver in it, period. Which I tested it out and I talked to him, and apparently the first thing he did was install Magic Dragon and Rising Tides and all the stuff that called for URL Resolver, and then went in and disabled. It's easy to do before you have like a full setup, and untied it from coding All-in-One, and was able to proceed through the rest of the installations, and it never came on. And I've been testing it out for a week or two now, and it just came out Wednesday, and so far so good. I like it.
You said Green Monster?
Green Monster, yeah, it's in the Crew Wizard.
Okay, all right. So if you guys have the Crew Wizard, you want to check it out. I'm glancing through some of the photos here. It's a Zonfluence skin. It's got some of the. He's got the some of the images going across the bottom with the shortcuts. I see it's got the shortcut to go to Real-to-Brid, so that you can authorize Real-to-Brid easily. So it's a full build. So is that like a 200 or 300 megabyte build, do you think?
Yeah, it's like 300.
Okay.
So it's pretty much, I don't think you really need to add much, if anything, to it. One thing I did notice is that in the live TV section, you know how Exonfluence has like 1 through 7 slots?
Yep.
He left slot 1 open. So if you have a premium service that has a Kodi add-on, you can drop it right into your number 1 slot there. Because I know a lot of people do have that. So I thought that was cool. I dropped mine in there.
Oh, nice.
So
nice. That's good. But that is in the Crew Wizard. I will put it in the show notes. Let me write that down.
Yeah, there's a lot of good builds in there. Purple Hat has some beautiful builds in there. Blue Hat, White Hat, they have some good builds. I know Paul Frank, he's got some stuff in there. Breeze, I'm trying not to forget anybody. I think we got Funster in there too, and Slamius. There's a lot of good builds in there. So just yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
Okay.
And just mention the new one, which is kind of cool. I kind of like that it has no URL resolver,
Yeah.
and then I noticed that it's also got the anti-indigo plugin that was developed by
Yeah.
Mod.
Yeah. I saw him post that back when that first happened. It was a way of, it's a plugin that will, if you
It'll
have that
nuke it.
plugin, it basically uninstalls Indigo or kills Indigo if you should have it. So you can have it as a running service. So if, let's say, because what has happened is, say if you have a repo that for whatever reason an add-on calls for Indigo to be installed, this other service will delete it. So it continues to delete every time you boot up Kodi. So it was
Yeah.
a Indigo nuker.
Yeah, so that's in Green Monster as a fallback in case users install something to add to it and they end
Yep.
up getting it
Yep.
on there. At least you know you're not going to get Indigo on there. So
Yeah. Yeah, because there's nothing worse. Because the how I noticed it, as soon as it opened up, it popped up that frickin' the pop-up screen, the Indigo pop-up screen. That was when because like I said, you know me, I am not a old TVA Indigo fan at all. And so I got this thing, and all of a sudden it popped up there. I'm like, what the hell? And it's like, oh, your device is unsafe. You need to get a VPN. Da, 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 da. I'm like, how the hell did that get on there? But yeah, so yeah, you can get the nuker. So it's Green Monster has the anti-Indigo plugin that will kind of get. Like I said, I've seen that in some of the Telegram groups when he created it. I see that. All right, Blind Eye asked me about a skin that I would use. I use Nox. I did used to use Zomfluence. The only thing I didn't like about Zomfluence is that you couldn't. Well, you could. It wasn't easy to create shortcuts inside an add-on. Like if you want to make a shortcut to the TV section of an add-on, you could do it, but it wasn't easy. If I'm using Nox, I can go right to the skin. I can go right to the folder that I want to create the shortcut to and create the shortcut. It's just easy. Zonfluence doesn't give you that option. You got to go through and either add it to a favorites and then from your favorites, or go in and actually you can edit the XML. It just I've used Zonfluence. I used it on the first DAX build was on Zonfluence, and I got to point, I'm like, I'm lazy now, and I'm like, I ain't got time. No, just give me. I'll use Nox, and Nox has so many bells and whistles. I don't use them all, but it has a lot, so I tend to use it. It's easy to work with, and Mr. Fire Guru rolled up in the house. Look at there.
Oh, hey.
Look at there down there. Yeah, Fire Guru wants to come in. I was looking through. I'm trying to make sure that somebody hasn't messaged me and I'm ignoring them.
Always good to see Fire TV Guru pop in.
Yeah.
Very good. Citizen of the community.
Yep. Oh, Cellar Door. Do you remember the Depulse? Yeah, I remember Depulse. I was so excited because that was we were using Q's skin, because Q created that skin with the movement, which Cellar Door uses a version of that. It's not the same skin, but it uses that with the movement and all that kind of stuff like that. One of the things that I was going to mention and I was going to get your feedback on is this weekend is the fight, the UFC fight. What's it? 246, I think, this weekend. And what do you have any options or ideas for places for people to find it?
Okay, well, if you're asking me, first of all, I'm going to admit I don't watch UFC and fighting. I'm a big sports fan, but I mostly just watch like the 4 major sports in the US, and occasionally some other stuff. But I will say that I do have some premium subscriptions, and I know they'll have it. And I also know from the chat group that the crew plans on having links for that as well.
Yep.
And I know there's a few other good sports add-ons, which I'm not really sure they would want me to mention.
Right.
But there are other sports add-ons that will, I'm sure, have links to the fight.
Yep. I would say the crew, like you said, I would say probably I'm sure that somebody in Death Star is going. There are probably numerous add-ons inside Death Star that will have links.
Mad Titan usually puts up good links too for
Mhm.
those events.
Yep. And that's going to be something. But those would be the things if you're not using a premium IPTV. That's the only downside. So, but I've been surprised with some of the stuff that the crew, their football links. I was shocked on some of their football links.
Yeah,
I was like,
they've been killing it. They've been
how
killing
the
it.
hell is that quality is good? So yeah, that would be some. I would yeah. So let's see. So Mad Titan will throw up one. All right. So Mad Titan, that'd be in Death Star.
Yeah, he usually does. He usually
Yeah.
does if he has time. And yeah, man, like you were saying, the crew, they've been on top of like every sport. It's been unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Hats
It's
off. Hats off.
yeah.
No
Hats
pun
off.
intended
Yeah.
to the crew.
Yeah. I've been really surprised. Tim says that Gridiron. I know Gridiron does he's done a lot of work on games. Definitely football games, and I know that he's went to all the other sports, so I'm sure he'll have links. So I would lean towards some of those, and it's surprising that how many add-ons have done a decent job at this, especially this past football season. For
Yeah.
free links, and we'll see. I'm wondering, even though this is going to be a big fight, I don't know if it'll be the draw that UFC needs.
And another thing, to what you were just talking about with the quality of the links, is I have noticed and seen a good deal of cooperation and collaboration between devs. Sharing some of the tricks that they found and the sources they found, which is really cool to see. And that's another thing is like the drama in Cody, man. I'm really sick of all that stuff, and I just wish people would just do their thing and stay away from fights and all that, because it really just takes away from the goal. And you know yeah, we're not against each other, guys. We're against the man. And
But I
we
don't
can't
think
be
we don't see as much fighting as I
right.
remember before. You used to see, but now there's really only one big argument going on in the background, but it's just
Yeah.
it's one person really. But for the most part, like you said, the cooperation is pretty phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of cooperation and a lot of people not worrying about the egos because
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
and the more and to spread the load. I mean, you don't want one add-on getting crushed because that's a lot of bandwidth and a lot of problem, and that's bad for everybody. So if you can spread it out. All
Indeed.
right. So let's see. I'm going through Darren. What's up? All right. One of the other things that I was going to talk about, which has to do with streaming, and I don't know. So, are you a cord cutter, Ed? I mean,
Yeah, I am fully cut. The only cord I have is my fiber optic internet connection. I'm glad to
okay.
say. I did hold out until just this past year with a subscription service through satellite.
Okay.
And when I got comfortable enough that I knew I could get everything I needed, I got rid of it. And
So
I'll tell you what, man, that's one major expense. It was ridiculous for just basic, expanded basic package, what they were gouging us for, just ridiculous.
So, well, I ask a question. So, how many other services do you pay for, like Netflix or Hulu or Disney or this or this or this?
Okay, yeah, we have Amazon Prime,
Well,
um,
yeah, yeah. That comes
because
that probably for the shipping. I know for me, I have it
right,
only for the shipping.
it's good enough just for the shipping, but they got some good stuff on
Yeah.
there, and they did a thing in November for veterans to get it for $79. So they cut $40 off. So
Yeah.
I am a vet, so I jumped on it. I mean, hey, $79, and I get my products in 2 days, and
Yeah.
and we have Netflix because my teenage daughter does not think it's possible to live without Netflix. Otherwise, I would have probably gotten rid of that
Okay.
one. But it's worth the expense. I
Yeah.
don't mind paying for that. And then a couple of streaming subs, Real Debrid and Premiumize. I got the Premiumize deal that they had over the holidays for 2 years for 99
99.
bucks.
Yeah, I should have got that. I waited too long on that $99 for 2 years. Yeah.
Oh, there's always next year. I mean, Real to Brit is good. I've been using that for the last 3 years, but I've always heard a lot about Premiumize. When I saw that and I calculated $99 over 2 years, it was like $4 a month, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, Real Debrid is $3 a month, and Premiumize is giving you all this cloud storage space. They're giving you news group access and VPN service. I'm gonna give it a go, and I
Yeah.
love it. You know, they both work great. So that's all
Yeah.
I pay for.
Well, the reason why I was asking is so I was looking and I saw there's a new streaming service that's going to be offered by Comcast called Peacock, and
Oh yeah, NBC. Yes, I saw that. That was
but
on the nightly
yeah,
news.
yeah, yeah, and so they're going to offer that, or they're looking to offer that, and they were going to be free for their customers, and now there may be a charge, and now it's up to maybe possibly $10. So I had put on Twitter that what's going to end up happening is all these cord cutters. I'm saving money. I don't want to pay $100. I don't want to pay $150. People are going to nickel and dime to 8, 9, 10 services. Next thing you know, you're going to be up to that $100. So I would just say, be careful for us being streamers. Be careful of what this subs, because you may say, "Oh, that's just $9." Oh, ESPN's just $5. Oh, Netflix, I'm just getting the $12 package. Oh, well, I got Hulu. That's only another $10. Oh, I'm gonna get the Disney. Well, then that's another $10 or $9. If you're not careful, you're going to nickel and dime yourself up to that 100 or plus a month.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're
Just
going to be
like
paying it out over all these different companies, and so you're going to be back to the same thing that you're going to be paying instead of paying the cable company. Just be careful of that. I think you're correct. For me having some type of Debrid service, whichever one you want to use, be it Premiumized, All Debrid, Link, Snappy, Real Debrid, whatever. Having one of those, if you want to have an IPTV service, fine. I use Blue's Netflix account because she gave me access to it. To me, it's kind of just for convenience. I can get all that stuff from Cody if I really wanted to. So if it was up to me, I probably wouldn't had it if I had to pay for it. And I'll tell people one of the things about taking a look at is an antenna. Now, this may sound
Yes.
it may sound stupid, and it may sound, oh man, I don't want to have antenna. You'd be surprised at the quality of picture that you can get from an antenna. Now, if you are out in the boonies, you might have to spend more to get a better antenna, an outdoor antenna. If you're in town, you can get some very good high quality, either Mohu or one of the Master Channel, Channel Master. Channel Master has an indoor antenna that's a really good for about $50, $60, and you can get some quality picture. The quality that I pull from my antenna is actually better than when I was pulling it from the cable TV, because you can get some 1080 quality, and it is good. I mean, it's uncompressed. It's very good quality. So take a look at that for the cable cutters and the people that are looking to stream. Think about that that antenna. Don't buy that cheap fucking antenna that looks like a laser beam. There's one that if you've seen it, it's got like a big back end and it looks like a laser. It looks like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You remember that movie? Remember that laser he had that shrunk everybody? It looks like that. Do not buy that. Do not buy that piece, that POS. Take a look on YouTube. Look it up. They'll tell you those will not last. The quality of them is cheap. They're made in China. They're made of plastic and just aluminum. They will not last outdoors. They have like a remote where you can turn it left and right so you can get the quality. It says you can tune it right into your channel. You can be inside, hit the button. The motor will burn out within months. That motor will not continue to work. And the quality of that's going to go down. Now you can say, well, I'm paying $30 for that. Well, you're going to get what you pay for. Go ahead, pay for a Mohu, M-O-H-U. Mohu indoor antennas. They have I think it's Extreme or something like that. Quality product if you're in an area where you can pick up a signal 20 to 30 miles away. If you're past that, you'll need to go with an outdoor antenna. Spend the money. I have a Channel Master that I have. It's an 80-mile Channel Master antenna. I pick up 62 stations. And I mean, some of them, I get like, say for 11, I get 11.1, 11.2, 11.3, 11.4. And I do get duplicates. I get 2 ABCs. I get 2 Foxes. Because it picks up, I have markets to my west and I have markets to my east. I'm able to pick up both. So invest. You're better to invest in that. And I get, again, all my locals, I ain't got to worry about that. I can watch the football games and they're crystal clear. So take a look at that kind of stuff, people. I mean, invest. If you're a person, I'm in an apartment, so I can't drill a hole in the wall, okay? You can buy the coax. There's a coax, a flat coax that can go through a sliding glass door or through a window. And so I can run the cable along the side of the building. I'm on the 2nd floor, so it comes along the side of the building. Goes into this a pigtail, I'll call it. It has two ends on it, and it's a flat wire that I can put right in the window. I can shut the window. I don't have to worry about air slip or air gap or anything like that, and then run it to my TV. Just a little bit of work can help you to, because some people are like, well, I got to be able to watch the local news. I got to be able to see if the weather is bad or whatever. Yeah. Completely understand. Invest a little bit and you will save over the long run. So, one of the reasons why I was bringing this up, and I don't know if you're an over-the-air guy that does over-the-air, but over-the-air signal is changing to the new format, which is ATSC 3.0. Right now, it's ATSC 1.0. The broadcasters are on the process of moving from the 1.0 to the 3.0 standard. They said by the end of 2020, I think it was 18 markets will have the 3.0 standard being broadcast. What the 3.0 offers is better range. Cell phone towers will not cause it as many issues. Buildings will not cause it as many issues. As well as offering signal strength up to 4K, as well as Dolby surround sound. What was it? Dolby AC4 is what it's going to be able to, which ATSC 1.0 only offers 1080. That's the maximum it can go. So the 3.0 will get you to the 4K, as well as better sound, better range, less pixelation, less interference. And it's going to offer interaction. So it's going to be able to broadcast a signal on your TV or your smart device that you'll be able to click on and actually get other content. So like when you're, on your phone or something, you'll have a broadcast of something and it says click here to get information about the local weather. And you're still watching the regular news, but you can click there. Your TV will have that ability with the 3.0. So that is on the horizon. That is on the way coming forward. Keep in mind, ATSC is built in. ATSC is built into your TV. We all have 1.0. Guarantee you got a 1.0 right now. So 3.0 TVs are not even available yet. 3.0 converter boxes are not quite available yet. So this technology is just starting to roll out. But what you'll end up having to do is you'll have to get a converter box. Like if you remember the back in the day when we went from analog to digital and we went to the ATSC 1.0 and you had to have, if you didn't have a TV that was digital, you had to get that little converter box. You'll have to get that. So just know that that technology is coming forward. One of the other things that they talked about with the ATSC 3.0 was the capability of being able to pick up while you're driving. It will have a better range. So when you're driving, if people wanted to have it on their phone, they'd be able to pick up local stations on their phone if they have the right hardware in the phone, and be able to stream while they're in the car. Whereas the 1.0, it's not as easy. That's why you don't see no phones with capability to watch TV. It's in Celador says it's available in some areas in the UK. Other countries have already adopted this. Korea, Japan have already ahead of the US on this. But you will see that this is coming out for people that are over the air people. So
Yeah, I've noticed when I roll out of the burbs and head into downtown, my phone switches to 5G.
yep.
I'm on
5G.
AT&T.
Well, if you got to have a 5G phone, my
Yeah.
phone, now you got a newer phone because my phone doesn't offer 5G. But yeah, certain phones, and that's 5G is also that's going to be another super game changer with being able to broadcast. Now, 5G signal doesn't go as far as the 4G or the 3G. It's a more centralized signal. You get a better signal strength, but it's smaller. But as they put it on more towers, that coverage will spread. I actually was kind of looking at that Galaxy S10 and I was thinking, I could get the S10, the price of the phone. I was looking at that, but I mean, my phone right now is working. So I'm like, will I benefit from that 5G?
Yeah. I have an S9 and I guess it's compatible because it when I go downtown it shows me 5G connection.
That's
I
good.
really haven't like stopped to do a speed test or anything like that. But yeah, I've just noticed that recently.
Yeah, they're hoping that their hope is that they're going to be able that 5G will spread out and it's going to help people that are in the boroughs or out in the country, to be able to get high speed internet.
Yeah.
I was looking at those. You've seen the videos on the things where the people doing the hotspotting through their mobile, doing the
Yeah.
mobile hotspotting. And I started watching some videos on that mobile hotspotting and using T-Mobile or no, was it T8 AT&T? I think most of them are using AT&T. I can see where some people would benefit from that because they actually get a better cell signal than they can get cable signal, which is crazy. So those are going to be the people that are really going to benefit if 5G gets farther and farther out. And because if you have a mobile hotspot and you can plug it in and you're picking up, 200-300 MIPS, and then you try to run cable and you're getting 20. So it's interesting when I was looking at that hotspot and where I'm located, the price, it's not really worth me to go that route. But I did watch some videos that are some people that are in remote areas that actually those hotspot and mobile hotspot and actually works well if you get the right system and you get on the right package so that you're truly unlimited and unthrottled.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky. In my town, the local phone company who used to offer DSL, they ran fiber optic throughout the entire town a few years ago. So we got fiber now, and you can get up to a gigabit, which is overkill. It's like twice as much as the 600
Hmm.
megabit plan, which I got. So I mean, 600 down, 400 up. It's insane. And I think after taxes and everything, it's only like $80. So
That's what I'm paying for my 100.
I mean, I feel like pretty lucky, and I've never had to mess around with the hotspot because we're not like out in the boondocks or anything, But man, it's lucky. If you're lucky enough to have fiber come to your town, man, it's awesome.
Well, it's crazy where I'm at. Okay, so I'm actually in town, like I'm actually in the town city limits, on the outskirt of the city limits, but I'm actually just inside city limits. We don't have fiber here, but my old house, which was out in the country, like 10 minutes from me, the old house has fiber now. And I'm like, wait a minute, they ran it all the way out to the daggone country, and I ain't got it here in town. It just doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. I mean, I'm happy with 100. I could get more than 100 if I wanted to pay the extra. I don't really need. It's just me.
That's
Um,
sufficient. It really is. you know I mean, especially if you're living in an apartment, just you, and you don't have like a bunch of kids all streaming YouTube
yep.
and Netflix at the same
Yep.
time. That's more than enough.
Yep.
That'll
Yep.
work.
Well, look at LG says he's paying 72 for 25 mil.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's I mean, I know I think Charles downstairs, he only has 50 and he streams just fine, but I'd be nervous to go any lower than that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe some people, but not me. Oh, let's see. 66 for 150, which I mean, that's a good deal there. I mean, but it's it's so crazy the price difference for from one place to another. And there's people, like I said, you can go out of town here. I've got friends that live 15 minutes from here, and their internet just sucks. I mean, just terrible. Can't stream for nothing. Can't. It's just the internet's terrible. So and they're paying almost what I'm paying for their service.
Yeah, we're like right at the town line, and so just right up the street from us, they don't have fiber, and I think their max cable is like something like 60 or something like that. So
That's crazy.
I mean, I don't know
Crazy.
what it is. I haven't used. I think Spectrum is the local company around here.
Yeah.
I think they're up to like 100 or 200 now, actually. But
Yeah. I
you know,
know
my
on my
friends tell me
Spectrum,
it's 50.
the Spectrum here locally, I think is the maximum is 400. But they
Ooh,
want, they want for 400, they want close to $200 or
ooh, ah,
160 bucks. I'm not paying that. I at Because when I was at the house, I was paying for 200 and it was a little over $100. And I could up here again, I could upgrade mine. And I'm like, yeah, does it work? Sure. I mean, the only thing that I've thought about doing is running an Ethernet wire from my modem, which is here, to over here. I'm thinking about putting a switch, and I could
mhm.
run the cable around the edges of the room, and then tack it to the corners and put a switch over there. Then I could run one wire to my Shield, one wire to my TV, and one wire to my Raspberry Pi, and then I would have all wired instead of me using I'm using the power line adapter, which seems to do okay, but sometimes.
Well, let me tell you what I set up at my house. We have a two-story house, okay? and the office is upstairs. So that's where the internet comes in, and then downstairs, 5G, as you know, doesn't really travel too well through
Mm-mm.
walls and floors. So what I ended up doing, I got an Asus, one of the new AX routers for
Mm-hmm.
upstairs, the AX 6000, not the big gaming one, but just the
Yeah.
office one. It's got 8 Ethernet ports. And then I got my old AC68U, and I plugged it in downstairs, and I set up the Asus AI Mesh from one router to the next. And then everything from the 68 downstairs by my entertainment center is hardwired to the router. So you wouldn't believe the increase in speed because the beefy antennas on the router is doing all the work instead
Yep.
of the little internal stuff built into the Shield or the Fire Stick or whatever. And I did a speed test on my Shield, and I'm not shitting you. I got 560 megabits per second download speed on my Shield. And somebody was
Wow.
telling me that's not possible. It can't go over 200. And well, look, I'll take a picture and send it to you. But I was really surprised because I was thinking about running wires, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a handyman. I'm not drilling and fishing through the walls and all that. I would have to hire somebody, like Geek
Mm-hmm.
Squad or whatever. They're gonna charge an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
Okay. So I said, you know what? If I try this with the routers, what's it gonna hurt? And I can always run wire
Yeah.
later if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And pleasantly surprised. It
That's
works
awesome.
fantastic.
Well,
So
that's what I've seen where people have used an old router to to add it to the network. And like you said, they've got one job and they're just grabbing that, that they're working between the two antennas. That's
yeah,
smart
all that
because yeah, because you're not forcing the Shield to do the work or that Android device or whatever. I did see Celador talked about. He posted in here health. I did see some things where, and I wasn't sure how true that is about 5G and some of the people that said that the towers were near them or installers saying that it was a increased issue with cancer. I don't know. It's how would they? To me, I wonder how did they figure that out so quickly because they're just starting to install it. Cancer is not something you catch like real quick.
Well, I
Um,
think 5G, if I'm not mistaken, was something that the military has been using for a while. That, if I'm not mistaken, now if anybody in the chat can pipe in with some information and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that technology has actually existed in early stages in certain military applications.
okay.
And I think that's why they know some of the side effects.
Okay.
But I
Uh,
may I may be wrong. I don't know. That's what I seem to recall reading.
damn military. Phil says canceled my cable a couple months ago using my phone as a hotspot at home. All you can eat 40 meg, uh, 20 pounds a month, lower end 4K. And all right, so I used my phone. I did that when I first moved in here. I didn't have cable yet, and it did work. Um, just a problem with how much data you use. And Spectrum used to tell you, oh well, I'll say this. Time Warner used to tell you how much bandwidth you used. They used to have it part of your bill. You could see how much bandwidth you use. Spectrum, you don't. I looked all over their website. I can't see how much bandwidth I use. So I guess unless I go in, I guess I could go into the settings on my modem and look at the specs. But I wonder how much I'm using because I mean I stream a lot, and so Phil getting it for 20 pounds a month. That's good.
Yeah. Now you got me curious. I'm logging into my internet account to see, because I know they do have a thing that shows how much bandwidth you've used. I haven't looked in ages, and now that I'm streaming exclusively,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot higher than what I'm used to. I'm curious now. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, because I remember when Time Warner was threatening to throttle people. They were talking about doing tiers. You were going to have this tier or that tier, depending on your usage. And I was going to have the top because we were when I was at the house, it was the house of four. There was four of us, and we streamed and gamed and this and that. And I'm like, oh my, and it was high. But then, like I said, they took it away, and I guess I can look. I'll have to go into the settings on my modem and see if I can find that.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was a little nervous about when they took away the net neutrality, that they were going to implement tiers and the rates would go up. And so far, knock on wood, we haven't really seen anything crazy.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Right?
Let's see. Fire Guru. All right. Well, so we got people. All right. Paul says he streams between 400 and 500 gigs a month. We got Fire TV Guru, 1.3 terabytes last month.
Oh my God. Way to go.
Yeah. I'd have to. 0.168, 0.100.
Yeah, my ISP, it's like a labyrinth of sign-ins. Like I already signed in, and when I clicked my account, it wanted me to sign in again. Like what? I'm still trying to still trying to get to my account.
Well, let's see. I'm gonna see. I actually got into mine. Good grief! Look at all those devices. You ever wonder? Status. I don't know. Maybe they don't tell me anymore. I thought on this one they did.
Yeah. I don't even know where they have it on here. I guess I can search. I know it shows up on the paper bill, and it'll show like the last 6 months, with the little graph on how much you've used. But I don't know where we put that. Stuff gets lost so easily. Let's see. Yeah, not helpful. Oh, never mind. Uh-oh. Where'd Todd go? So anyway, looks like Todd bailed, and it's just me and you guys. So who's in here now? Diana L. Hey, Diana. Yeah, right. I know, Tara. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go deer in the headlights. I'm gonna ride this out. Hopefully he'll be back soon, because I just don't have the dabs pizzazz. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on it, but I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, right. He killed his connection messing with the devices. All right. So yeah, Tara is in the house. Bah ha 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 ha. I love that signature laugh. Oh, and I did want to say that Terror, I want to say thanks to Terror, because it's his artwork that is featured on the Green Monster background that was modified specifically to be green. And thank you. I know Green Monster thanks you. And there he is, Todd, man.
Hey, all right.
I was like Paul, one of those people where the pilot died, and I'm like sweating bullets, talking to the tower. How do I do this?
Hey, Paul's right. I killed my connection messing with the device. All I was doing was trying to look at my settings of my router. Like, look what happened. I was like, wonder why I can't pull up nothing. I'm talking away, and then I'm looking. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Oh, shit. And I look, and all my lights are out. I'm like, Well, let's hold on a second here.
Have I been saying or hum, you guys? I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
But
Blue says I say it all the
Tara's,
time.
picking at, is he picking at me or at you, Dabs? Tara
Probably.
says start without saying hum. Now, I mean, hey, I'm all about self-improvement. If I'm saying a lot, I'll work on it. But I don't know if he's talking to me or you.
I don't know.
Because
Blue
yeah,
said,
I know Blue picks on you about that.
yeah, I try not to. So we'll look at that. I'll look at my internet later.
Yeah, me too. I give up. It's like a maze.
Yeah,
It
I'll look
really
at
is.
that because I have to look at the settings on it. That's weird, but
It's
so
really
let's see.
easy to find new packages to buy, but it's really hard to find stuff that like you want to see, you know?
Yep. All right, so let's see here. I don't know if we got anything else. Disney. I don't see anything else. All right, so we got that all wrapped up. I guess we've been going at this an hour and a half. We'll go ahead and roll out of here.
I'm exhausted, man.
Huh?
I'm so exhausted, man.
It's a lot of work carrying this load. I pulled him in here, and so I'm not all alone. Help him
Oh,
carry.
okay. Somebody's mentioning tracked. Okay. Is
Tracked.
there something we need to cover before we tap
Well,
out here?
well,
Something around with tracked?
he can watch my video. I did a video on Tracked.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So
Yeah,
that was,
I didn't
I
watch it.
released that. I released that today. I will get you the link. Hold on a second.
Perksy! It's happening, dude.
Hey, Perks. I'll post that. There is the link to the Tracked video I did today. Hey, there I did again. It is dab style. It's going to be long, and I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff in it. So sit down, get you a cup of coffee, get you a beverage or two of your choice. Watch it. Should explain how Tracked work, why it does what it does. I walk you through a couple add-ons. I could have did more add-ons, but I show 3. I felt like 3 was enough. Shows you how to set it up, how to change things. If you change things in the add-on, how it does on the website, how to change on the website. You can see it in the add-on. Let's see. Does it include Kodi integration? I showing how to get it to work with add-ons in Kodi. Maybe down the road, I'll show you how to set up some APKs with it. But the APKs that I've seen, not so much. I don't really care. The APKs that I've seen that use Tracked, I'm not impressed with. Not impressed. So the only integration, I don't know if you're wanting integration into the library, MT. I don't know. I'm not sure. You'll have to let me know on that. I think it shows pretty much in. If the thing about with Tracked, and if you're using a simple skin, let's say you're using Aeon Nox, and you put Tracked into your favorite add-on, and it has a Tracked section, you can very simply make a shortcut to any section on that skin right on the front menu, and you can put it right in there, and it will do it. The library integration, that would have to be done through Venom. Could do it. I'd have to look at that, or using Open Meta.
Yeah,
would be the other one that you'd have to use. We did that back on Metallic. Metallic used Tracked or offered Tracked into your library integration. You and I talked about that. We talked about it in one of the groups.
Yeah, we were just talking about that this afternoon. The pros and cons of Tracked versus Kodi library integration, and how simple do you want it, or how much is going to bog down your system. And yeah, different strokes for different folks. For me, I'm good with just my Tracked account. and going into an add-on and finding my watch list and my progress. I have one widget, and it's my TV progress, so I can quickly look on the TV page and see where I'm at in each series that I'm watching.
Yep. And it's
And
and in the
weather. I'm a
and in,
sucker for weather.
I mean, in the video, I show you how to make a list of your TV shows or movies, whichever it is that you have, and you create that list, and then how to access that list. I don't in the back in the day, I used to use library integration, but now I find I want it quick. So let's say I'm not wanting to watch something on my tracked integration in my track library, and I turn on Kodi. I don't want to have to wait for it to go and call out to tracked and get that information, wait for track. The larger your library and larger your list, the slower it gets. So I don't know if I would use it. I'll take a look at it and see if I can, how hard it is and how, if it slows my system down. It's not a matter of that it's real hard. I would just wonder in how much it slowed the system down. To me, if I was going to, for my use, what I would probably do for my setup would be to go to my add-on that I'm using Tracked with, and create a shortcut right on the front menu of movies, TV, whatever it is, and make a sub spot and click Tracked or my list or whatever, and click it, and it would instantly open up that track list. And it could be, like you said, your TV that you're watching, your progress. It would be one fix, and it would only open when I wanted to open it, instead of when you boot up Kodi and it calling Tracked and I got to get all your TV shows. And I don't know. I think that's where it would be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, the only time I've ever used it was I set up on a separate fork library for my music, and I was pulling all the music in my collection from my NAS, and that took forever. So I was just like a little gun shy to try it for movies and TV shows, because I thought, well, it's probably just gonna bog things down a little bit and make me wait a little bit longer to watch what I want to watch now.
Yeah, the problem with that, with the music situation, and I know back in the day when I used to have my music integrated into the library, is not all the meta tags and all are correct. So when it's trying to grab the album and the artist and this and that, sometimes when we download that stuff, it's not exact. That's listed on the internet. It's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have a lot of unknown artists, and then you'd have to go manually, because it'd bug me. It was like all unknown. I'd have to go in and, and that's Pearl Jam. Oh, that's Pearl Jam's.
Not me, dude. Not me, dude. All the stuff that I downloaded, I tag meticulously.
Okay.
Everything, man. My music library, I was like on top of that for a long time. And I haven't really been downloading a lot of music lately, though. But yeah, it's almost a terabyte of stuff that I have.
Yeah, I lost all that on one of my hard drives. Died.
Oh.
I lost all my music. Now I've slowly starting to build my music back up, and I'm using Plex for music. So
yeah, I've settled on that myself too.
Yeah, Plex.
Kodi.
Yeah. Plex is my music, and I was actually doing it today when I was vacuuming, and I had my music playing. And let's see. Fun says I use track authorization app because I'm lazy and scroll through the website for the bottom. Now, so the track authorization app, is that for your phone? Because I know that Kodi apps had that plugin for theirs, but does Track have its own APK? Let's see. Let me look here. I don't know.
I see somebody's asking about Plex and Kodi, and I'm gonna say probably easier to just use Plex and Plex. Yeah.
I wouldn't be, because remember they did have a Plex, but there is a Kodi There is a Kodi plugin for Plex, but you got to pay for that. Remember, what's his name? Metal Kettle created the Kodi Plex plugin, and then Plex was going to sue him because they said that that's proprietary, and they threatened to sue him, so he took it down. So now that he's done talked about, I'm going to look for my Google Play. Where's my Google Play? I had Google Play. Sometimes I hate my damn phone.
Well, that speaking of music, that's another one I forgot on my services I pay for. We do have the Spotify family plan, which, you know, split up between all the household members, it's a lot cheaper than $10 a month, you know, and I love it because I can take my phone and just pop my favorite playlists on in the car, put it on Kodi, and on the Shield, on the Spotify app.
Yeah, there's no official tracked. I know Wacko has tracked integration, but there's no official. So, all right. So there's this TV show tracker says it has tracked, managed or tracked. So I know that Wacko is one that I've used that you can control your tracked libraries and all that stuff. And then I know Kodi app, I had that on my phone, and you could link that to your tracked, and I could add and subtract playlists through my phone. So ideas. It's always good to have some different ideas, but for me, I just use my freaking computer. You know.
Well, I see CDTV is saying that he's got cracked Spotify and it's free, and I did that for a long time until my daughter, a couple of years ago, decided she wanted to go Apple. Okay, so now she's got an iPhone, and I have to admit that broke my heart because I'm an Android guy all the way, and you know, free stuff, cracked stuff, you know. So it was a pain in the butt to find the most recent cracked one that's actually working, that didn't get shut off, and then it wasn't possible, you know, for her to have it. So I said, screw it, I'll just pay for it. It's only, you know, $15 a month.
Yeah, I have both my kids were they're drinking the apple juice. And I'm like, both my kids, they were Apple. They went to the Apple, and when they got to a point, I'm like, oh, that bill's on you now. You get whatever you want, because I got my own plan. I'm like, if you want the Apple, go on with yourself. Get you the Apple program or the Apple apps and all that. Apple's too controlling.
Yeah.
They control everything, and yeah.
And if you're wanting to stream or live the pirate life, I don't even know why you're thinking about buying an Apple. No. You know, and I try to explain this to my daughter, but you know, when all the kids have Rockstar or Rock Band or Video Star or whatever, you know, all those little apps that they have, that all the teens, oh, it's got AirDrop and I can just do this and that, you know, and all your friends have it, and so she had to have it. So now I just laugh when she complains that she doesn't have something. I'm like, well, try to tell you to stick with Android, girl.
Yeah. Well, wait till you can tell them, well, that bill's on you. Go ahead and pay for it yourself.
We're almost there.
It's good days. Good days when you get to that point. All right, Ed, go ahead and anything you want to close up with? I know you talked about the Green Monster, so people can check that out. And
yes, the Green Monster build is now in the Crew Wizard. Hats off to the crew for doing such a great job, and to you know, people like CDTV, who does a great job with his builds and numbers and numerous other add-ons. I mean, people are adding stuff all the time. I've noticed some have even added music sections to what was traditionally just a movie scraper add-on. I mean, all kinds of good stuff's been happening, and it makes me happy to see. And I wanted to thank all the devs who are doing this stuff on their spare time for the community. We appreciate you, and I salute you. And thanks everybody for listening to me this whole time, and who bore with me while Dabs went black. And good to be here, man. It's always fun. Thanks for having me, Todd.
I appreciate you being on. It's always fun to have people on, and I tell people all the time, my show is open to whoever wants to join, as long as you're not a dick. I mean, if you're gonna be a dick, I don't need you on the show. But you be on. You don't have to be an expert. I mean, I'm no expert. Share what you know, give some knowledge, talk about the things you like, things you don't like, why you like it, why you don't like it. And that's always good because then it's a different point of view is always, always great. One thing I forgot to mention, I didn't write it in my notes. The add-on last week that I showed, the Tell Media add-on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's been pulled. The reason it's been pulled was that it's kind of twofold. One fold was that there was people that saw that as an opportunity to make money. There were some people that talked about creating Telegram rooms, uploading videos to those rooms, and then charging people to join that room. Now, not that anybody had done that, but there was talk of that. The developer saw that and saw that that was a possibility, and he had never even thought about people doing that. That bothered him. The second thing that was a concern to him was some of the discussions that we had on the show when I said, I'm wondering about the impact on Telegram into some of the channels. If these channels become super, super popular because of their content. The developer also started to think about that and thought about the impact it may have on Telegram itself, as well as some of those channels. So that developer decided to pull the add-on, to take the add-on down. He enjoyed the work, enjoyed doing it, and wanted to release it. But then after it coming out and seeing the whole thing and where it may go down the road, he decided to take it out of the public circle. So that add-on is not publicly out there. And he's not going to put it out there as a public add-on.
Unless you've already downloaded it.
Yeah, if you've downloaded it, you have the version you have, and that's what it is. Yeah. But he's not going to be uploading it. He's not going to be updating it. If you were in that group early on and you got to download it, it's still going to work. It's not going to stop working. But he will not be doing any updates to it. He will not be posting it out there publicly. So it's kind of a bootleg. If you have a version of it and you got a small version of it and you have it, great. If you share it with a couple of your friends, great. But it will not be spread amongst thousands and thousands of people to take it out there. That was just something he decided to pull. And I'm sorry that, we talked about it last week and his plans were to make it fully public. But in hindsight, he decided that maybe it may not be something to put out there for thousands or hundreds of thousands of people to download. It could really.
Yeah, and I think wasn't one of the concerns also, like, could Telegram handle that much streaming traffic?
Yeah, it was the traffic. I mean, it was the traffic and then the channels. And then what if people are doing it and they're doing it to make money? And the guy was like, that ain't why I made this. This is not the reason I made this add-on, and I wanted to put it out there. I wanted to so that people could stream easier, not to have to pay for Reel the Brid. I mean, that was his whole thing, was when it was about not having to pay for Reel the Brid or this or that, and it working great. I mean, I don't know if you used it. I mean, it loaded quick, and but so that's been pulled. So if you're sending me messages, I will invite you to the room that it was in, unless he has a change of heart, or somebody that has the add-on that they're willing to share the version that was out. I'm not going to share a version of it because of the respect I have for the developer that created it. He told me that, hey, I'd rather not share it. So to me, that's fine. He doesn't want to share it. I'm not going to share it. So unless you can luck up with somebody that's in one of those groups that says, hey, here you go, but it won't be widespread. It's not going to be out there for everybody and their brother, which, that is what it is. Hopefully, if some people are developer minded, can look at that add-on and maybe pull some information from that and to build off of that. Great. So, all right. So I see Fire Guru. He'll send me a group that has everything from movies and music. Okay. Well, Fire, hit up Ed or hit up me. We know who you are. Hopefully, everything goes well this week. Watch the fights. I hope Conor loses. I know you're not going to watch the fight, Ed, but I'll be having people here.
I'm getting ready to watch the Canes here in about 15 minutes.
Canes! Oh, the Canes are playing tonight?
They sure are. They sure are.
Watch that. I might watch that. I might watch. Who are they playing?
Oh, crap. I forgot. One of the West Coast teams. One of the West Coast teams. I can't remember, but it sucked because last night we lost Dougie Hamilton to a leg injury, our all-star. So, bummer.
Okay. All right. Well, TV Fire hit one of us up, and we will do what we can. Again, thanks for y'all watching. Watch my video on Tracked if you're interested in that. If you need more information about some of the things, I've thought about doing another video showing some of the how to use Tracked in an APK. But to be honest, if you watch my video, it's not hard setting up Tracked. I mean, I don't want to have to spoon feed people. If you can't figure it out a little bit, figure some of that out on your own. Might not need to use it. It's not that hard. If you watch that video, you're going to get a basic idea, and to take that over to an APK is pretty simple. It's the same setup. It's going to give you a code. You can put that in the Tracked. Bam, you're done. That's how that is. The library integration part, I will take a look at that and see. Shouldn't be that hard. I'm sure. I know if I use Open Meta, it's going to be pretty straightforward because you link it. And once you link it to your Open Meta, and if you have Open Meta linked to your library integration into Kodi, that's going to be a no-brainer. It's pretty straightforward. You might, if you don't have the patience to wait for me on that, go back and watch some of my Metallic videos 2 years ago, 3 years ago. My Metallic videos, we actually showed how to do library integration for Tracked. That was part of some of our videos with me and me back when the day. I think we had Q in on some of that, me and ARB. So go back and watch that if you're interested in that, because it's going to work the same, pretty close to the same, because Open Meta is a fork of Metallic. So if you can keep up with all that, if that makes sense. As always, thanks for watching. And as always, streaming matters to us because streaming matters to you. All that kind of stuff. Peace out. Thanks for joining me, Mr. Ed B.